Hey everyone, Jeff Horowitz with Dentists in the Know, and I am here today with, one of my favorite people in the industry, but also a great partner of Dentists in the Know. I'm here with Matt Anderson from Atlanta Dental. And Atlanta Dental, as you know, is one of the dental distributorships that is partnered with the ADA Group, the American Independent Dental Alliance. And the reason I have Matt here today is because we have, as most of you have heard me gripe about, been going through the process of renovating a building. The hardest part has been the renovations on the building itself. The best part of everything I've done has been my relationship with Atlanta Dental and with the ADA Group, because Matt, you absolutely made the equipment purchase side of this and the logistics of getting moved in, you made it so easy for me. So what I'd love to do with y'all today is I'm just going to have a conversation with Matt, and hopefully you get a lot out of this. And the biggest thing that I want you to get from this conversation is really Atlanta Dental's credo, which is that relationships matter. You've heard me say this a lot on the show, is that what we do is very much a relationship-based profession. And certainly on our side of things, with equipment and merchandise purchasing and with having a partner that helps you along the way, nothing could be more important than having a team like Atlanta Dental. So first, Matt, thanks for joining me here today. We're in the teaching center of the Sterling Health Institute, which is our new building. We put a sleep center on one side, advanced sleep and TMJ centers, the dental practice, Carolina Center for Advanced Dentistry. We've got a cervical spine chiropractor. We've got upstairs as a retinal specialist, eventually a surgery center. And of course, this is what was to be the teaching center, which is still a work in progress. But we've got both dental offices in now, thanks to you and the logistics you helped with. But what I want to start with is you've been with Atlanta Dental for a long time now.
Yeah, 22 years.
Wow.
22 years.
So you spent the better part of your career with one dental company, which is unusual in this business. You know, you walk around at the dental meetings and, you know, you see the same faces just behind different tables or, you know, at different booths. So tell me what it is about Atlanta Dental that makes it, you know, that has made it such an important part of your career and why you've chosen to stay there.
Yeah, sure. No, I appreciate it. And, for me, I've somewhat grown up in the dental business. I've 22 years with Atlanta Dental. I started off inside of the company. So I got to spend 5 years inside of the company, worked in different departments of the company and so forth. But for me, I really, it's always been nice. You know, I've seen the industry change a lot. It's just always been nice to work for, an employee-owned company, where, as opposed to being with a publicly traded company, or, a company that's held by private equity. I mean, to be an owner of Atlanta Dental, which I am, one of the stockholders, you have to have an active role in working directly with our customers, which I think is so important. And so for me, that's always been, a very important piece. And as the market has changed, as more and more corporate dentistry has come into the scene, I mean, it's just become even more important, I feel like, to be with a company that is independent, just like most private practices.
Yeah, and I think you touched on a great point, because it's one of the reasons that Atlanta Dental became involved with the ADA Group, the American Independent Dental Alliance, which really on the dentist side is trying to accomplish what you're doing on the equipment provider and merchandise delivery side. And that is to say, how does a smaller player, i.e. a private practitioner, how are they able to stay on the same level playing field with some of the larger DSO groups and private equity-backed groups that maybe get better pricing on merchandise and on equipment? So tell us a little bit about your relationship with the American Independent Dental Alliance, and then I want to get into the whole relationship side of Atlanta Dental.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, like I mentioned, we've seen a lot change in the dental industry. Corporate dentistry is becoming, more and more of a thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we work with some group practices, some larger group practices even, and but I think what bothered me the most is seeing that, that the private practice dentist could not be on a level playing field when it came to buying equipment and supplies and a number of other services out there that are available. And so for us, having ADA has really helped us to just, help bring our customers, that the majority of our customers, which are private practice, it has helped us bring them to, a more level playing field and get the same pricing, and then sometimes even better pricing than we've seen with some of the major, DSOs.
Well, I think that's a key point, because when we were pricing equipment, we were making a fairly large equipment order, and so we actually did some price comparisons, and it was absolutely amazing that through my membership in ADA, that we were able to secure pricing that was better. I had kind of run it through some back channels to check with some other DSOs and look at other pricing, and we were actually able to beat a lot of that pricing. And the price for an independent practitioner to become a member of ADA is so reasonable.
It's like a Costco membership.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's
really
ridiculous.
And yet we were able to secure, pricing that was, it blew the minds of a lot of my friends who were involved with DSOs, because we did item for item comparison. And so we bought a bunch of stuff from Midmark or through Midmark, I should say, via Atlanta Dental, and our pricing was just amazing.
Yeah, it was very new to us at the time. I mean, you were one of the first doctors I worked with where we were doing a project and we had the opportunity to use ADA. And I was a little nervous, when we were putting it together, because I knew that you had some connections through some DSOs, and we were going to have you were wanting to look at some of those too. And so when we got the pricing back, I was pretty blown away.
Yeah.
I mean, it was significantly less than some of our larger competitors, were getting through DSO pricing. I mean, we were significantly less. And then, of course, Atlanta Dental being a privately held company, employee-owned, we're not publicly traded, so we're able to, offer competitive pricing on top of that. So it just when I saw it all come together, I was extremely happy, and it was a lot of, it was good.
Yeah, but it goes way beyond pricing too, right? So tell us, or tell everyone out there, kind of the difference, because I think, especially in today's digital age, so many people are just wanting to go online, find the best price for merchandise, find the best price for equipment, and maybe have some third party ship it and then hire somebody else to put it in. Tell us the difference of working with a company like Atlanta versus a mail order company, or just a web-based company that just says, oh, we'll beat any price.
Yeah, I mean, we are very much the full service distributor model. We're very high touch, we're very hands-on. We very much believe in, having, feet on the street, technicians on the street, just the full service business model. So that to us, I mean, has always been a core belief, and so that I think that's something that's starting to change a lot. I think that you're starting to see more and more, online dealers and things like that, but a lot of procurement softwares where people are, trying to place stuff through a software, and it's coming from multiple places, and it's trickling in over the course of a few weeks, and you're, and it's and you got to hire somebody just to manage that type of thing. So I think, for us, I think it's just, things are definitely changing a lot, and we just believe in the full service model.
Yeah, and it's one of the reasons that I've been a loyal customer to you, just because, again, I believe in the relationship model. I believe in someone having my back. I wish Dwayne Nettle were here. Dwayne is actually my merchandise rep from Atlanta Dental, and unfortunately he couldn't be here with us today. But between he and you and always just having everything one phone call away, like literally, I think this is the difference. Anywhere I am in life, if it's on an airplane, if it's between patients, you guys are always a text away. And whatever it is, and even if you say, okay, that kind of crosses over into Dwayne's, domain. This is, this is a merchandise thing, but let me get a hold of Dwayne, or this is a service thing, let me get a hold of service. Regardless of which one of you I end up touching base with, I'm just taken care of.
Yeah.
Right? And at the end of the day, isn't that like the most important thing in dentistry is our time?
Absolutely.
Like, how much time do you want to wait for somebody to come and service you? How much time do you want to wait for your new equipment to be installed? How much time do you want to wait for your merchandise to get to you? Or if there's a problem with it, having someone suggest a good alternative, or just somebody to find answers for you. Because in dentistry, that's our most important commodity, is our time.
And so I think more important than ever is having a team that's connected, that's really part of your team, that you can, like you said, you're sitting chair side, you have a thought, you need to text somebody, you can text any one of our team members, and we're all talking, we're all working together on your behalf to make sure we're just, getting back to you, keeping things going for you as best as possible.
Yeah. The other thing that I really love about Atlanta Dental is I had the opportunity several years back to go and visit and meet with Gary Kirkus and Tom Richardson, and that's the president and the leadership of Atlanta Dental, and what I found is that sentiment of relationships matter, which is actually printed out in the waiting area when you go in, which I took a picture of because I just found that amazing. I love culture. When companies have a culture like that, they always seem to be really successful. And that culture really lived within that building. Everyone that I talked to seemed to have the same kind of sentiment about, taking care of the customer, and we have a rich history, we want to remain independent, we want to be able to make our own decisions, and we want to help support independent dentists do exactly the same thing. So maybe walk us through the process of somebody who wants to do a renovation, because I had this incredible experience of going to Atlanta, meeting with everybody there, the architectural team, and I was just so blown away at how long everybody has been doing what they do.
Yeah.
Like,
Pretty crazy.
when I met with Gary, the architect that actually worked on my plans at Atlanta Dental, or the designer, I was just blown away, because we had already had a private architect, and they're like, no, this doesn't work in a dental office. Let's do this. Let's move this around. And literally, within a couple of hours, we had some brand new ideas, and it was fresh. So maybe walk someone briefly through the process of, from that first notion of saying, you know what, I think I want to move into a new space, and or build a new office, or open a satellite, or something like that, and tell them how Atlanta Dental kind of helps them all along the way.
Yeah, sure. I think the big thing is there's no two projects are the same. And I mean,
I think you can easily say that after working on this one, right?
In 20 years, I could say this one was unique, and we, there was,
Sorry about that.
No, it was all good.
I made my problems everyone's problems.
No, not at all. I mean, it's all just, just construction, and, it's a big project and a lot of moving parts, but I think that, every project's different. And so I think what we bring that's maybe a little different than some of your nationwide companies is that, it's not a cookie cutter, kind of like mentality. So we want to come in. I would say the process is we come in, we sit down with you, we get to know you a little bit, and we want to learn about what you're trying to do. Are you wanting to start a practice? Are you wanting to, move your practice because you're expanding? Are you wanting to open up a second location? I mean, we want to really learn about what you and your project and hear what your vision is for your project.
Yeah.
So I think that is, that differentiates us in the beginning. But then I think beyond that, our design firm, I mean, we've got Gary Lowry's been there for, over 40 years. And Gary Kirkus, who's our president, had helped start Atlanta Design and Associates probably over 45 years ago when they figured out there was a need for design services and things like that in dental. And so to have these resources and these people on our design team that have a really more of an understanding than just basic, like, okay, here's a cookie cutter project, and let's put something on AutoCAD, put something together. We can look at it from a project management standpoint. We can look at a piece of property and talk about developing that piece of property and so forth. And so we just really go a lot deeper, I feel like, than some of
Yeah. And so as a testament to that, I'll never forget one of our first conversations when I started talking about this. And sorry, Atlanta Dental, the sales side might get angry over this, but Matt had a true relationship with me, and he just looked me in the eye and he said, "Jeff, what you're talking about is a big undertaking." And in a nice way, you were like, "You're no spring chicken, right? Are you?"
I didn't mean it like that.
No, it was fair,
Yeah.
But it made me think. But it also let me know, hey, these people are not just trying to sell as much equipment, or they're really trying to nurture the relationship and say, hey, you're a better customer if you're happy for the rest of your career versus maybe making a mistake. And not that it was a mistake. Let's not go down that road. Not that it was a mistake, because it wasn't, because I'm so excited about where we are now. But the fact that you were willing to sit down with me and say, are you sure this is what you want to do? I am here. I've got your back the whole way. But, here are the steps we're going to have to go through. Here maybe, some of the friction points that you're going to face. And I just want to make sure that you're ready for this. And I really appreciated that. I mean, even though we joke about that a lot, but it really did mean a lot to me. And it kind of reinforces what Atlanta Dental stands for, which is the relationship is more important maybe than the one-time purchase.
Yeah. Well, most projects that we work on are maybe 6 months to a year. Sometimes if it's, a project like this, it might be a couple of years. And
a lot of years.
Yeah, this a little bit longer. But what I want to do.
I had all black hair when we started this project, by the way.
I had a little more hair too. but I think for me, I mean, when I met with you and we started talking about this project and it was going to be a really big undertaking, I mean, I really wanted to make sure that you knew all that was involved, and you did, but I wanted to make sure that that you knew everything. So going into it, I mean, our goal is really not, it's not just to help you open this practice and to get an equipment sale or to get supplies or whatever. I mean, it's really to help you create a successful business so that we can work together for the next 10, 15 plus years, and that's how it's always been. Whether you're starting a small practice in a leased space or you're going to expand or do something like this, I mean, we just want to make sure that you're successful, because we want to work with you for the long haul, for the rest of your career, and so forth.
Well, I sure appreciate the relationship I've had with you and with Dwayne and really with the whole Atlanta team. You guys have been phenomenal. For everyone out there, even when I wasn't here, Matt was coming up from Charleston and just checking on what was going on with the construction crew and making sure things were going in the right place, which sometimes didn't go in the right place, as we found out. But it was so much more than there was so much stuff that you guys were really not compensated for in any way. It was just extra, on top of the equipment sales and my usual business with you. And so I can't tell you how much that meant to me and how much I appreciate it. But I do want to touch on one other piece of ADA, the American Independent Dental Alliance. And I know this is outside of your area of expertise because you're on the equipment side. But the other part of remaining an independent practitioner and having access to good pricing and still having access to the relationship-based company, I think the last piece of that is education.
Absolutely.
And that's something that ADA has been able to offer. So Atlanta Dental now able to put on a lot more course content because of their relationship with ADA. And so I've got to give a shout out to Skip Jones and Renee Graham, who do an incredible job with the education for Atlanta Dental. And so on top of having all these resources and the relationships, there's also access to education now, which I think is a critical piece of remaining a good independent practitioner.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for saying that.
Absolutely.
That's a huge part of it.
Wanted to mention that for sure. So for everyone out there, first of all, Matt, thank you again.
Thank you
I appreciate
so much.
everything. We're gonna take a little tour around the office and maybe give you some insights about that. But for now, I just want to remind everyone out there that as Atlanta Dental says, relationships do matter. And I'm so thankful for my relationship with Atlanta Dental and now ADA and ADA Education. And that's about it. So for Jeff Horowitz and Dentists in the Know, Matt Anderson, thanks for being with us.